Open Zoom meeting. Still coming up. Oh, it's coming up now.
Okay.
Guys, in fact,
It's just like a taco, but with the door closed and the skin like softer. Soft taco. What did you say?
Ready for that?
Did you hear what I just
Yeah,
said?
man. The party is just like a taco.
Okay.
You think me not hear? Me hear everything. See, I hear everything.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you see anything from my phone?
See, I hear everything.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you mute?
Sure.
Thank you.
India. Kalau mo ito bifisa ito eh, may one Zoom meeting but it batch dead.
Good morning, everybody. Yes, now we're going to be outside. Orientation. Awesome.
Good evening, everyone. Are you hearing me clearly?
Awesome.
Right, I'm hearing you.
Hearing you quite well. Good evening, everyone. Are you hearing me clearly? Awesome.
Good evening. Hello.
Hearing you quite well.
All right, thank you.
Good evening.
All right.
Hearing you well from Heart Trust.
All right, I'm going to ask everyone to mute their mics, please.
Hearing you quite well.
Good evening. Hearing you well from Heart Trust.
Mute the mics. Mute the mics that are up.
Put it back over the system.
All right, thank you so much for joining us. Good evening again. Welcome everyone to this our orientation session with SEEED Youths and Heart NSTA. This meeting has officially been called to order. We're gonna invite Miss Sadia Williams to bring us her. Miss Williams.
Good evening, everyone. Shall we pray? Great God, who made the universe and knows the stars by name, we come before your presence this evening in humble adoration of your awesomeness. We ask you, oh God, that you would stretch out your hands and touch each and every one of us this evening. And may we be receptive, oh God, to what we're hearing. Touch those who are on their way home, give them safe travel, and just bless these proceedings, we pray. In the mighty name of Jesus, we ask it and call it done and say amen.
Oh, yeah, I'm in our meeting, Mama.
Miss Harriet?
Miss Harriet?
Yeah, may I ask
All right, thank you. Thank you so much, Miss Williams. We're going to hand over to Mr. Williams now to bring us the greetings. Mr. Williams?
All right. Again, a pleasant evening. And before we proceed with this segment, I'm asking persons within the group to please mute your mics. Mute your background. Nice. We have to be mindful that there is other activities taking place in your background and can be disruptive toward or to the meeting that we're now having. So I'm just asking persons, please, to mute your mics and just to manage your microphone, your camera around this time. So thank you very much. Let me take this opportunity of welcoming you all. Just welcome all to this sensitization session. And it is a pleasure to have you on board this afternoon. Let me extend a very special warm welcome to the Heart NSTA Trust team at this time for being here with us. And as you already would have known and understand that we have partnered with Heart to bring you this empowerment program. And this empowerment program, Heart will delve into the finer details of the program. As we are the facilitators, Heart has the overall responsibility and oversight responsibility for training and development and certification within the country of Jamaica. And also it is good that we would have put out an offering and you would have subscribed. And so as we move forward this afternoon, I'd ask for you persons who are participating in this session to get your pens, your pencils, your notepad, your notebooks, so you can make some notes of what you're gonna hear. It is good to sit and listen and we'll hear things, but some of the things might be too much for some persons. And so the memory is not always reliable. And so we're asking at this time that we do some jottings of the vital information that you are going to be hearing, and so that you can refer back to those information and be guided by those information. Thank you again for attending this session, and thank you again for subscribing to the program. And at this time, I will hand over to Mr. Wichard from Heart, who will take over the proceedings from now. Mr. Wichard and his team. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I just want to thank IC Youth Organization for inviting us to be a part of your initiative. I mean, we are indeed very grateful for the opportunity to reach youths, regardless of where they are at, and especially with the fact that the majority of these youths are actually in St. Catherine. I will just introduce my team. Mr. Cecil Wade should be with us. Ms. Celia Wilson is also with us. Mrs. Eslyn Palmer is also with us. And apologies goes out for Miss Stephanie, who is unable to make it at this time. I will ask Mr. Wade will bring greetings on behalf of the trust. Is Mr. Wade on? Ms. Wilson, can you confirm if Mr. Wade is on?
He will be speaking from via my laptop.
From yours. Okay, that's fine. Since both of you
Okay.
are, that's fine. So colleagues, I'll just ask you to just please welcome Mr. Wade as he brings greetings on behalf of the trust. And I will also ask that while the presentations are taking place, as best as possible, please feel free to use the chat to ask your questions and not necessarily open your mics. I will ask if the host can probably just see how best they can monitor that activity, so we have a minimum amount of disruption because there will be a section for question and answer, and we will answer questions that are posted in the chat as well. All right. So I hand over to Mr. Wade.
Thank you, Sir Wishart. Good evening, everyone. Pleasant evening to you all.
Good evening.
Yes, the pleasure is indeed mine to be a part of this meeting on behalf of the Heart NSTA Trust Portmore Parish Office. I am the recruitment officer for Portmore, and I'll be greeting you on behalf of the parish office. Let me first say that as an organization, we are led by we have a mission and a vision. Our vision is to see a globally competitive workforce that is impacting nation building through human capital development. And our mission is to facilitate and to ensure the development of human capital. So whatever we do, and as a matter of fact, everything that we do, we have as our goal, our mission, our mandate, facilitating and ensuring the development of human capital. Now, as the meeting goes along, you are going to hear about what we do and how we can be and will be of benefit to you. We were before, one person heard about Heart, they would have heard about the Heart NTA, which is the National Training Agency. But those who are following, you may be aware of the merger of a number of service institutions and organizations, the National Youth Service, the Jamaica Foundation for Lifelong Learning, the Apprenticeship Board, yes. Yeah, pardon me. Yeah.
Alright, so like early morning, like when I go to work, I can go when I finish and go over there.
Please mute your mics. Please to mute your mics. Manage that process, please.
Yeah, sorry about that. Just relocating. So these organizations or these service institutions have come together, and we are now with the HEART NSTA, the National Service and Training Agency. So we are here for you. It's a pleasure for us to partner with you. Just as how you are excited to be in partnership with us, we are also even more excited to be partnering with you and for you to benefit from our wide range of products and services. So on behalf of the Portmore Parish Office, my parish manager, Mr. Wishart, and all our officers and everyone who is affiliated with the Portmore Parish Office, I bring you greetings. So thank you very much.
Thank you again, Mr. Wishart. Over to you.
All right, I thank you. Thank you for that, Mr. Wade. I will ask Ms. Palmer. I just want to see if I'm able to. Okay, well, the screen sharing has been disabled. I don't know if it can be enabled for my officers who will be presenting.
I have done so.
You have done so. All right.
Right.
Just for the benefit of those who are here, I just want to see if I can just share a quick agenda. I don't think are you seeing?
No, sir, we're not seeing it.
Not yet.
Let me try it again. Let's see if it will be. Still not seeing it.
You're in process. It is telling us that you have started the screen sharing, but your system seems to be a little bit slow, and I don't know what the difficulties that you might be having.
All right. Well, I'll probably just run through it so that persons are aware of what we will be covering. Our career officer should be on to just speak to the participants, Mrs. Palmer, with respect to career choices. Mrs. Palmer, can you confirm? I think I'm seeing her on. I was willing for her to go ahead and share. Mrs. Palmer? I'm seeing an E Palmer on, which I assume is Mrs. Palmer. Mrs. Palmer, are you able to unmute? All right, I'm not hearing Ms. Palmer at the moment, so I will just move to the next item on our agenda, and I will ask Mr. Cecil Wade to speak to you about the respective products and services that are being offered by HEART at the moment. Mr. Wade, are you able to share?
Sir Wishart?
Yes, sir.
Could you please give me a minute to get the presentation ready? I can't use my work laptop, so I'm trying to use my personal laptop, so I have to send it over to that one.
All right. All right. Well, in the meantime, let me just speak to the participants about another matter. Colleagues, I believe that we should have several groups of persons who are here and who are interested in doing programs with Heart Trust. And I just want to say to you that the purpose of today's session is so that we can align ourselves together with respect to the program that you want to do. We were actually told that there are several individuals who have multiple programs or they have other interests. And as such, they want to know what it is that we have to offer. I will say this to you that our primary mandate is for human capital development, so as to ensure that you have the required skills to pursue the career path that you want to do. And as long as you are pursuing the path in which you want, then it is easier for you to be extremely productive in what you're doing, instead of you doing something that you don't want to do. And then at the end of the day, you are very miserable. You don't operate optimally. You tend to get burnout and all of that. And that's why it's important that we wanted our career officer to be speaking with you, to ensure that you are in fact going down the right career path with respect to you realizing your true potential. I was hoping that that was Mrs. Palmer that was coming in, but upon closer observation, that's not what I'm seeing. Mrs. Palmer, are you ready?
Mr. Richard.
Yes.
All right, notwithstanding, I know that you're trying to get the group together. Since we have identified an area of interest, could we run through that those areas of interest?
Definitely.
So that, and as soon as Ms. Palmer and your team is together, then we can proceed those areas.
Just give me one quick second there. All right. Colleagues, I would like to speak to you on the matter of business administration. Now, there are a number of, what was told to us is that persons are interested in doing business administration. Now, sometimes there's a slight misunderstanding with respect to business administration, because most persons believe, and I will clear this up, most persons believe that secretaries, persons who operate in the secretarial field, who take minutes for meeting, they are the ones who actually should be doing business administration. However, our qualification known as business administration, it actually covers most of the skill sets that are needed to operate within an office setting. So if you are interested in operating in an office setting, and I specifically want to differentiate between the business administration and customer service, because our qual plans are so designed that the business administration is more ideal for the person who wants to work in the office. The person who wants to work within a customer interacting era, the customer service qualification plan is more suited for that person. So persons who work at front desks or in stores or within as part of the customer service team, customer service representative or stuff like that, store clerks, cashiers, the customer service qualification is more ideal for persons who wish to operate in that era. Persons who wish to operate in a more of an administrative role, the business administration is more suited for them. So I'm hoping that that differentiation is clear for persons, and I want to let it know that we are willing to offer both qualifications in the event that persons who had indicated they wanted to do business administration, they really want, it was really customer service that they really wanted to do, because they wanted more to be interacting with customers, because they believe that they have that personality, or they get along well with customers, or they're able to serve customers well in that capacity. Is there any question on those two differentiation?
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Shadir. Yes, as I mentioned a while ago, you were differentiating, distinguishing between both programs, right?
Yes.
In the business administration, what are some of the stuff that we'll be learning within that program? Is customer service also a part of that subject? I mean, for example,
yes, customer service is a part of that subject.
Right. So why I'm asking is because, for example, someone applying, registering to do a housekeeping course, it's not what I've learned from that is that you're not only going to be learning how to clean, cook, and all of those stuff. It's more like you can actually do the course, but work somewhere else because of what you've learned, and you can be able to apply it elsewhere. So I'm wondering if what of the same customer service, which is a different program, and it's as I say, it's different, if it will still be learned within the program business administration. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, man, I understand what you're saying, and I'm happy that you asked that question, because our business administration, there is actually, you will learn customer service as one of the units inside of it, but the main focus of it is to cover the units for you to carry out administrative tasks within an office. But you will learn customer service. I have another segment that I will speak about the details of each of those two programs. But I just wanted to ensure that persons were clear with the differentiation before I get into that. Yes.
All right. So this, right, what is your actually capacity, right? Are you like
Your background is extremely noisy, and so I'm not hearing.
Oh, yes, sir.
What you're asking.
What I was saying, so what is your actually capacity? You just need to reach at least a level 4.
Hello.
Business. Yes, sir.
Hello. All right. Just a break. For the persons who are in the meeting who are not on the floor asking questions, could you mute your mics, please? Our Madam Administrator, could you mute all the mics?
All right, that person was asking a question, but it seems as if his background is a bit noisy. But
yes, but if the background is a bit noisy, please just clear the background, because we're hearing the background noise louder than we are hearing you. So please just clear your background. If you have a question to ask, just clear up your background before you start asking, because it's very disturbing. Thank you.
What I'll do, I'll send the text in the chat.
Yes.
All right. If I understood what the person was asking, so for our business administration program, we actually have multiple levels in which persons can actually attain the qualification. We have our level 2, which is more for persons entering into the field who would work in the area of, a business administration officer, or an assistant administrator, or assistant administrator, assistant to the administrator, or any of those titles, clerk, anything like those. So the entry level for us is our level 2 in the area. When you move closer to the supervisory level, you will do the business administration level 3. As you move up a little bit more from the supervisory level now into middle management, you will do the level 4 And as you become the manager in that area, you will do the level 5. Now, for our level 2, the only thing that you are required to do the level 2 is 1 CXC subject, and you are able to do the level 2. And if you don't have a CXC subject, we will ask that you will do our diagnostic test. And so if you have no CXC subject, then we'll ask that you do the diagnostic test. That's the minimum requirement to do the level 2. For the level 3, it is recommended that persons complete the level 2 before doing the level 3. And in the same way, you complete the level 3 before doing the level 4, and the level 4 before doing the level 5.
Can I ask a question?
1 second, I'm coming to the question. Through our institutions, we offer the facility where you're able to do 2 levels at one. And I'll give an example. So you could enroll to do the level 3, but they will first carry you through the level 2, and then you will transition on to the level 3. So you will actually end doing the level 3, but you will cover the level 2 units before you actually start doing the level 3 units. So it is important that persons understand where they are at in their experience, and so we can enroll them in the right program. Yes, let me take that question. Yes, somebody was asking a question a while ago.
Yes, sir. I was saying that if you're already active in the capacity and you're already at middle rank, so you could just go above the level 3, and maybe start from the level 3, even though you meet the requirements of more than 2 subjects. Or something to say it's recommended and it's not mandatory.
So it is, if you have experience, if you have at least 2 years experience at the supervisory level, then we will be willing to enroll you. And once you can prove that you have at least 2 year experience at the supervisory level, we will be willing to enroll you in the level 3. As long as you have at least 2 year experience there and you can prove that you have that, we will be willing to enroll you in the level 3 program.
Yes, sir, I'm qualified. My name is Mr. Orlando.
No, man, I'm not taking the information like that. I will tell you how we can go about enrolling accordingly. But unfortunately, I won't be able to take the information like that, because then we'll never get out of here tonight.
All right, Sir Wishart, I'm not sure if you're going to brief them first and then take all the questions afterwards, or you're going to do it in this fashion, because...
Oh, Mr. Wade, are you ready now, Mr. Wade?
Yes, sir, Wishart, I'm ready.
All right, so I'll hand over to you. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Let me share this screen. Is everybody seeing my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, so as I said before, let me bring this over. Yes, as I said before, our mission is to facilitate and ensure the development of human capital. And by the way, if there's anybody who is just joining, who was not here when the meeting started, let me say a special good evening to you all, a great evening to you all.
Good evening.
Our mission statement at the Heart NSTA Trust is to facilitate and ensure the development of human capital. our vision is to see a globally competitive workforce that is impacting nation building through human capital development. So everything that we do is all about human capital development, or I can rearrange the words and say developing our nation's human capital. And we operate under the core values of respect, care, relevance, teamwork, integrity, quality, accountability, and customer focus. Now, what do? We provide skilled and competent workers through our institutional-based training programs or through our on-the-job training approaches, such as the National Service Corps, NSCP, and School Leaver Training Opportunity Program. We also provide employers with customized workforce solutions for their businesses. Now, what Mr. Wishart was just touching on a while ago, what he was focusing on was our customized workforce solutions. And you will hear much more about that. So as I said to you, we are excited to be partnering with you, and we have something that is customized for you to help to capacitate your staff and all those who are affiliated with you. We have institutional-based training programs, and being the Portmore Parish Office is not isolated from Region 6. We're part of Region 6, and so all the institutions and colleges and so on in Region 6, we have access, and so we'd like you to know about all. So we have, in Region 6, we have the Hart College of Construction Services, where you, as you are hearing, that focus on doing courses that are construction related, from building, surveying, to furniture making, to plumbing, to welding, to wall and floor tiling. We have everything that is construction related. We have in this region as well, we have the Old Harbor Vocational Training Center, where we have things like fashion designing, accounting, early childhood, carpentry, and so on. And too numerous to mention everything. We have the Ebony Park Academy that is in Tollgate, Clarendon, looking at courses like greenhouse technology, cattle rearing, butchery, general agriculture. We also have the Southeast Technical Vocational Education and Training Institute, the Southeast TVES Institute, that's at Lloyd's Vale, looking at programs like housekeeping, food and beverage services, general construction, industrial electrical maintenance, and many more. So those are some of our institutional-based training programs. We also have on-the-job or work-based training programs. So let's look at this next slide. There are a number of acronyms here, and we start with the HYSWP. That is something that comes up in the summer, the Hope Youth Summer Work Program, and they'll be fleshed out in subsequent slides. But just to introduce it to them, we have the HYSWP, that is the Hope Youth Summer Work Program, the RAP, the RAP, the Registered Apprenticeship Program, the GWEP, the Graduate Work Experience Program, the NSCP, National Service Corps Program, NUYP, National Unattached Youth Program, and the SL TOP, the School Leaver Training Opportunities Program. So let's look at them with a microscope, so to speak. We have the HYSWP. The HYSWP, the Hope Youth Summer Work Program, as it says, summer.
It lasts for 3 weeks in either July or August. It used to be for June, July, August, but because of the pandemic and the need to extend the school year, then June and exams going to June, and last year it went even into July. So we had to put it to 2 months. But this for persons is for 3 weeks in either July or August. If somebody works July, they can't work August, and vice versa. We are targeting persons between the ages of 17 and 29. And if persons have a disability up to 34 years old, they can be a part of it. So we have that program, and we will soon be sensitizing firms some more. And that's where, in this program as well, we at the Heart NSTA Trust, we pay a stipend according to your highest level of, your highest qualification. We have the RAP program. The RAP program is the Registered Apprenticeship Program. It targets individuals between the ages of 17 and 35 who have a minimum secondary high school education, secondary education. Now, I'm aware that persons who are on this program, on this platform, you may not be the person who would be in need of a RAP program, but if you have family members, you can tell them about it. The RAP program has levels. So we have from entry level up to graduate. So we have entry, intermediate, advanced, graduate. So entry level, persons who have no subject. But if you have no subject, you have to sit the diagnostic test. And it is set at the grade 9 level, grade 9 math and English. There are 60 questions each, multiple choice. And once you get 25, you would have passed the exam. And you can proceed. We have intermediate, person with at least 2 CSEC, advanced with a diploma or an associate degree, and graduate with a bachelor's degree. And duration 1 to 3 years, you get to do level program that Sir Wisha just mentioned a while ago, like business administration, we have accounts, records management, there are numerous other programs. You start at level 2, and you can also get to do level 3 by your time being extended in the program. We have our GWEP program. We target persons between the ages of 17 and 29. Again, 17 and 34 for a person with a disability. The duration is 6 months. And as it says, GWEP, Graduate Work Experience Program. So for persons who have completed tertiary education, they can apply to be a part of this program. Another program that we at the Heart NSTA Trust, we are responsible for your remuneration. We have the NSCP. We target unattached youth between the ages of 18 and 24. It lasts from 6 months to 1 year. And the whole aim of this is to support young people in finding meaningful work within an apprenticeship structure while offering them the opportunity to be trained in a marketable skill. We have the NUYP, National Unattached Youth Program, duration 6 to 9 months. We're targeting persons between the age of 17 and 30. And we have our SL Top. SL Top now targets school leavers between the age of 17 to 23. So you must have at least 2 CSEC subjects to be a part of our SL Top program. And you have the opportunity to work within a private or public sector firm for up to 1 year, where you can fully acquaint yourself with the firm's daily operations. And let me say to you that the SL Top, these training programs are so good. There are senior officers within this organization who started out as an SL Top. So once you are able to be a part of, or you get attached to one of these programs, we are all about capacitating you, capacity building, not just for the present, but looking towards the future. Now, in addition to all of those programs that I mentioned here, going back to this slide, HYSWP, RAP, WEP, NSCP, NUYP, SL Top. These are work-based training programs or on-the-job training programs. Now, for persons who are on this program, on this platform, on this meeting, who are already in a job, this may not be something for you. We don't want you to leave your job and come to join this program. But if there are family members who have left school and who are unattached to something, to either a program or a job or a career, then one of these programs that's the thing that you need to ask about and get involved with. Now, we have previously, you may have heard about Jamal, and then from Jamal, we heard about the JFLL, Jamaica Foundation for Lifelong Learning. Well, now we have a new name, and we are operating under the acronym, the HSDE, which is the High School Diploma Equivalency. A duration 6 months to 2 years. Now, this is for persons age 17 and older. You may have dropped out of high school, or you may have completed high school but didn't get the subjects you wanted, or may not have gotten any at all. We have this program where we allow you to do your subjects again. Do them over. We have CSEC subjects like mathematics, English language. You can see them on the being projected right here. HSB, social studies, POA, POB, IT, EDPM. We also offer City and Guilds math and English. If there's anybody who think you have not yet reached that level, we offer numeracy and literacy. And classes are free. The only thing you pay for is the examination time. When it's examination time, you have to pay the examining body. We don't pay CXC that part. All right. I remember I went somewhere and I was presenting our programs, and I mentioned this program, the HSDE, and somebody was saying, so what about persons who can't afford, there are some persons who genuinely can't afford. So I thought about it, and I said, if there's someone who cannot really afford to pay the exam fee, well, listen, we have our work-based training program. We have our RAP program. Let me go back up to RAP. And as I mentioned, the RAP program has 4 levels. There's entry level for persons who have no subjects. And as I also I didn't mention, for these programs, we give you a stipend. And we try to place persons as close as possible to where they are living, so they don't have to have that great challenge in terms of transportation. If we can, within walking distance, we place them so that you can get some savings, and out of your savings, you can put some money aside to pay for subjects within the HSDE program. Now, in the same slide here, we have, look at it right now, PLA, prior learning assessment. We recognize that there are some persons, so we have our institutions that persons can come to institutions and learn a skill. And they can come for numerous months or a few years and so on. They learn a skill. And they come out with they are trained and certified. There are some persons in our society, however, who, for certain reasons, they were not able to go into the institution to learn that skill. But they have learned that skill somehow, maybe by observation, by being an apprentice to someone, and they are as good as, or maybe even better than, persons who have been to school to learn it. We offer certification. This is called a prior learning assessment. We have a day where we say, okay, all you have to do, fill out a testimonial. Somebody can write about what you have done and what you can do. You must have at least 1 year experience. And you will come in, we give you a challenge test. We have certified persons in cooking, small food assessment. We have certified persons as masons, tilers, steel fixers, carpenters, painters, all these areas. we are always certifying persons. And let me touch on one more thing. We offer job placement services. I know you are aware that for many persons, there is many persons are making a career of offering resume advice and career coaching and job coaching. Here at the Heart NSTA Trust, we have officers who are paid to give you the best advice, career advice, prepare you for the interview, to write the best resume, to present yourself the best you possibly can for an interview, the skills to get the job and to keep the job. And not just that, we are in contact with firms who reach out to us and they say they want workers. And many persons would, if you apply by yourself, you may not get a call for an interview. Once you come through the Heart NSTA Trust, then you guarantee an employer looking at your resume and giving you a call. So we prepare you with our job readiness. We have our employability skills, so we have our two-week course in employability skills to make you well ready for that job, and then we refer you. So there are numerous programs that we offer. So I am just giving you an overview, and I don't do, if there's anything I have left out, I know my officers, my parish manager will catch me up. But this is an overview, and at the end of it, you'll be able to ask questions. So I hope you would have learned something based about what the Heart NSTA Trust offers, our products and our services. Thank you very much. By the way, this is our contact number.
Hello.
Yes, by the way, our contact number, that information. Yes.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, you may.
Okay, about the resume, like if you want somebody to write your resume, who do you attend to? And I did hear that you said about the diagnostic test. Like for instance, if you're doing level 1 and 2, you don't have to do the test, right? Is that okay? Or if you're going to do level 3, you'll do the test.
All right, so let me answer both of those questions. For our men, based on the question about resume writing, give me 5 seconds. Yes, sorry about that. We have our career services officer, our career services unit. So we invite you to our employability skills session, our job readiness session. Now, when you come to our session, what we do, let me just say to you, our officer and our staff will not take on the task of writing your resume for you. We will give you the tips that you need, section by section, and we will give you all the advice so that when you would have left us, you by yourself can construct that resume. So we will not, we don't take on that task that we are going to sit and just be focusing on writing your resume for you. But we will, when you come to our employability session, our job readiness session, you will get all those skills that you can go and do it by yourself. Is that clear?
Yes, sir. And
right.
where is that? Like Ripon Road or the office?
No,
or
we
where's the
are the
office?
Portmore Parish office.
Okay.
So we are located on the grounds of the Hart College of Construction Services.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So you are welcome to come to us at any time. Concerning your next question.
Okay.
About the in reference to our on-the-job training programs, and I was referring specifically to our RAP program. As a matter of fact, for any of our programs that we are offering, if you have no subjects, you have to do a diagnostic test. All right? For any of our programs, if you have no subject, you must do a diagnostic test. The diagnostic test is set at the grade 9 levels. There's a test for math and one for English. Grade 9 level, there are 60 questions, and you must get, once you get 25, you're okay. You can proceed.
Okay, does the subjects have to be CXCs?
If you have City and Gales, it must be stage 3. Hello?
Yes, what I have is Jamaica school certificate.
No, that you will have to do the diagnostic test.
Okay, so is it an online test or should I?
No, you come in and you sit the test face to face.
Okay.
So
that's a quick question. Bearing in mind that a number of the persons who are on this platform currently are not necessarily in Portmore and wide cross-section. This in Portmore and some out. For the question that was asked earlier of how do you make contact for the resume persons who want to have advice and guidance in writing their.
Yes, all right. So for persons who are within different regions, then we can direct you. We will direct you to, once we take you, we as a matter of fact, we're not going to say to you that you should go to different parish office on your own, but we can take information and then we make contact with other parish offices on your behalf.
All right, thanks.
If we don't operate at it, if once you come to one parish office, if you are from St. James, you come to us, we're not going to say to you, find St. James office. We will deal with you and then make contact with the persons in St. James.
Okay, one other question. For instance, if you have a hard certificate already, do you have to do the test?
No, you don't.
Okay.
You will be on our system, on our training management system.
Okay, then I don't have to do the test because I already have the art certificate. I thank you for that question.
Okay, yes.
No problem.
Just a minute, please. I'm asking everyone to raise their hands. It can't be that everyone just unmute and ask.
All right. Could you? There are other things that are coming up, other presentations. Could you please allow the other presentations to go on? Then we have a part that is designed just for question and answer. So could you please write the questions, hold them down, hold on to them, so that after we have wrapped up all our presentations, then you can ask those questions. Because there are others to come, and we are working within a certain time frame here.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I know that your session would have been closed for now until we move on to the other section. Mr. Wichard, you take the floor.
Yes. Thank you for that. I will ask Ms. Whitner if she can do her presentation, and thereafter I will try again if Ms. Palmer. If not, then I'll just move to the next section.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Are you hearing me clearly?
Clear.
Good. And are you seeing me? And are you also seeing the screen?
Seeing the screen, seeing you.
Awesome, awesome. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, persons, representatives from SEEED. It's a pleasure being here this afternoon to present to you my area of specialty, which is the HSDE program, the High School Diploma Equivalency Program, attached to the Portmore Parish Office. So you might be asking, what is the HSDE program? The High School Diploma Equivalency Program is a literacy and numeracy intervention program. It makes provisions for the adult learner, 17 and older, who have exited or may not even have the opportunity to enter the formal education system, and also now requiring a second chance to access learning opportunities. So in summary, we cater to persons 17 and older. And when we say older, age is no number here. Good, so it's infinity. Doesn't matter how old you are, as long as you're 17 and above. So when I say literacy and numeracy, I'm speaking to the person who may have challenges reading, writing, doing simple arithmetic. Good. This person may have attended school in years gone by, or just may not have gotten the opportunity to attend school. So this program caters to that wide cross-section of persons. Okay, so it is offered over 3 distinct groups, and these groups are basic, the intermediate, and the proficiency. Another word for proficiency would be the advanced groups, which covers CXC and City and Guilds. So what is the basic group? The basic group is equivalent to grades 1 to 6 of the formal primary education system. Now, please bear in mind that we are catering to persons who are 17 years of age and older. And yes, in today's society, we still find persons 17 and older who are still functioning as if they were in grade 1 to 6. It is the reality of things. Situations, things may have happened in the past that prevented them from having a formal or benefiting from a formal education. So we don't judge. The Papa Parish doesn't judge. The HSDE program doesn't judge. We just accept you as you are, and knowing that you're taking the steps to empower yourselves, we don't judge, as I said. So it's divided into 3 levels. We have the basic L, the basic E, and the basic M. Basic L would be the persons who are functioning at the grades 1 to 2 level. The basic E would be the persons functioning from the grades 3 to 4 level of the primary school system, and the basic M would be persons who are functioning at the grade 5 to 6 levels of the formal primary education system. This is also a prerequisite for the intermediate group. So some persons may come in and do an assessment, or you all do the assessment. Once you are deemed at the basic level, once you have completed the basic level, then you can move on now to the intermediate level. Bear in mind also that persons do come to the parish office who are already functioning at the intermediate level. What is the intermediate level? This level, you find that persons are actually functioning at the grades 7 to 9 of the formal secondary, or what you would call the high school system. Then we move on to the proficiency group or the advanced group. Here, persons are functioning at the grades 10 to the grade 11 level of the formal secondary / high school system. So once you have been assessed and we realize that you are functioning at the basic level, doesn't matter if it's basic L, basic E, or basic M, you, once enrolled, you're offered 4 subjects: math or mathematics, English language, basic digital literacy or IT, and life skills. Now we say basic digital literacy. At this level, persons are taught how to properly use a laptop, how to properly use a phone, how to properly use a tablet, how to maneuver basic softwares on these devices. Then we have our life skills. What are life skills? Life skills are skills that we need, we use on a daily basis in order to function effectively in society. So we're looking at things such as first aid, personal hygiene, sexual reproductivity, sexual health, etc. Then we have our intermediate group. Here, you're introduced to 5 subjects: math, English language, EDPM, which is our electronic document preparation and management. We have also social studies, and human and social biology. And yes, we still offer life skills at this level. Then now we have our proficiency group, which will be our grade 10 to grade 11, or what persons would consider to be the CXC group. Here we have 7 subjects offered, and these 7 subjects offered, we have math, English, EDPM, social studies, human and social biology, principles of accounts, and principles of business. Here you're required to do math and English and any other 3 subjects. If you already have math and English, you're open to choose the remaining 5. So what are the benefits? You might be asking yourself, what are the benefits of a high school diploma? Good. High school graduates enjoy some of the following benefits: lifelong skills, marketability. So you feel empowered to go job hunting, better career opportunities, higher income, you have self of pride and achievement. It feels good, when you graduate, when you leave high school and you collect that paper there, your certificate. It gives you a sense of accomplishment. Greater college opportunities to move on to UTech, to UE, NCU, or even at the international level. You need at least the basic high school requirement there, high school graduates and qualifications. Also improved skills, and then you can join the military. So you can join your JDF or your JCF, local and internationally. High school graduates are more unlikely to be unemployed. You're more unlikely, and I like this word, unlikely. So you're unlikely to live in poverty. You're unlikely to have poor health. You're unlikely to have children who will also live in poverty. You're unlikely to be unemployed. You're unlikely to be engaged in criminal behavior, and you are also unlikely to be arrested. Certification. The program will facilitate the attainment of the CSEC certification once you have reached the grade 11 level, and you would have sat your exams, and you will pass them. We speak things into being. You will pass them. Good. So you'd have attained your CSEC certificate and also a high school equivalency diploma for persons achieving passes in 5 subjects, including math and English. So if you came to us with math and English and you did 3 additional subjects, upon you passing the 3 additional subjects, coupled with your math and English, you will be given a high school equivalency diploma. Good? Certification is also provided for completing the basic and intermediate levels. We don't want anyone to feel left out. Good? So all persons will be treated. As long as you work hard, you work assiduously, you will be given something. You will be rewarded. So at the basic level, once you have completed basic L, you would have been given a certificate of completion to say that this person has completed basic L and has matriculated or has moved on to basic E. That person will also get a certificate of completion at the end of basic E, and also by the time the person now ends basic M, that person gets a certificate of achievement. Good. So not just completion, but no, you have achieved a certificate from the basic level or the basic tier, and that now advances you to the intermediate level, and the same goes on. Now, apart from the HSDE program looks at this, the CXC aspect of things, we also offer City and Guilds. 2 subjects are offered at City and Guilds through the HSDE program. We have mathematics and English. Both subjects carry 3 stages, stage 1, 2, and 3. However, please note, we only pay attention, or we only focus on stages 2 and 3. How do you qualify for stages 2 or 3? This moves on to a diagnostic test. So once upon registering for the City and Guilds program, you are given a diagnostic test. This diagnostic test is done to determine what stage you are functioning at. Is it stage 2 or stage 3? The grand thing about this is that CXC has, it attracts no cost to you. So all you have to do for City and Guilds, my apologies for City and Guilds, all you have to do is come, you register, you're given a diagnostic test. Based on your diagnostic test, if you're placed at stage 2 or 3, you then move on, you go to your classes at no cost to you, and then you sit your exams again at no cost to you. That is for City and Guilds. Unlike CXC, the classes, you attend classes at no cost to you. However, when that time comes, you pay your CXC fees to the CXC examination body in Crossroads. We're offered, the program is offered in adult education centers through partnerships with community outreach centers, churches, schools, workplace units, etc. All right. What are the requirements for you to register in the HSD program? First, complete your application form. Your application form is to be accompanied by 2 passport-sized photographs, a photocopy of your TRN, a photocopy of your birth certificate, a photocopy of a government ID. And when I say government ID, I'm speaking about a passport, a voter's ID, or a driver's license. Once I have all these documents, then we will move on to your pre-assessment. And the assessment, again, as I said before, is done to determine what level you are functioning at, so I can strategically place you. Persons will come saying that, Miss, I want to do CXCs. And upon administering the pre-assessment or the diagnostic test, we might, or I might realize that this person here is functioning at the basic M or intermediate level. If I had just gone ahead and based on what you said and placed you in a CXC group without doing this diagnostic test, I would feel very badly myself, because I would have made you sit in the class, made you pay for the subjects when you are actually not functioning at that level. The aim of this is to ensure that you pass. You must pass. You will pass your exams. If you already have CXC subjects, however, if you come to me and you show me, don't just tell me that, oh, Miss, I have two CXCs. No, where is the proof? I need proof that you have 1 subject or more. And then in that case, you'll be exempted from doing the diagnostic test. So, said it before, the pre-assessment there, and then we have our post-assessment. So our learners are assessed with the TABE, the Test of Adult Basic Education Assessment, at 6-month intervals. The results of this TABE assessment will then determine your matriculation or determine you moving upwards. Good? So moving from one basic level to another, meaning moving from basic L to basic E to basic M, or moving from basic in its entirety to intermediate, as well as from intermediate to the proficiency group. Now, I have said much, I know I have said much, and I know persons are eager to enroll in the HSDE program. And there you have it, there's my email. Should you have further questions, you need clarity, I may be reached at this email, as well as Mr. Wade had said, we have a session at the end of the presentation for all questions. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for allowing me this opportunity to present to you my offering, the HSDE High School Diploma Equivalency Program. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. All right, this time, as ladies and gentlemen, as hold your questions. Note your questions, hold your questions, send them in the group. Send them in the group, and when we get to the question and answer time, our session, your questions will be heard and some response given. Mr. Richard.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, Ms. Wilson, for that presentation. Mrs. Palmer, I will try one more time to see. I know she was having some technical challenges. I spoke to her earlier. For some strange reason, she is not able to unmute. I'm not sure if that was from a host side or is it just a technical challenge on her side at the moment. So let me just ask if she's able to do it again. Mrs. Palmer, if not, I'll just move straight to the final section. Let me just give her an opportunity. Mrs. Palmer. All right, I'm hearing somebody's mic is open. I'm not sure if that is her. Mrs. Palmer. All right. So I'm going to assume that she's still having those challenges and as such not able to share with us at this time. That's very unfortunate, but I will just share something quickly on that matter because it was raised earlier. And I really want to say that part of what we seek to do is to ensure that persons are properly aligned with the programs that they want to do. And one of the reasons for that is that too often we have where persons enroll into programs, just like you might have persons here, you could have somebody who tell you about it. Hey, I'm going to be enrolling in this business administration program, and they tell them to come with them, but they are not really interested in business administration. And then when they get into it now, and you get to a little part that might be a little challenging or a little difficult now, they just drop out, and they would have now wasted a space for somebody else who probably wanted to actually use up that space. So one of the things and one of the reasons why we went through all of those presentations is because we want to ensure that, okay, I see somebody is presenting. We want to just ensure that regardless of what it is that you enroll in, that is in fact the qualification, the right qualification that you want to enroll in. And we are willing to do the career guidance, the career counseling. We have a diagnostic test that I mean both Mr. Wade and Ms. Wilson spoke to you about. These are two different types of diagnostic testing, and these tests are actually done testing different things. One is actually done to test your personality type, to say to you that based on your personality type, these are the respective career fields that you can think about. There are a lot of persons, I don't know how many of them are here and are willing to admit it. I know even through our experience, we have interacted with a lot of people where when they got a job, they just wanted a job. So they didn't mind which job they were getting. They just grab a job. And then now getting the job, they realize that, hey, this area is not my area. You know, I would have preferred, and I'll give you a quick example. Somebody might have a job where they are interacting a lot with the customer, but they don't like to interact with the customer. But if you put them in the back office, they work extremely well, right? There are some persons who cannot work in noise. There are some persons who like to even work on the road. So somebody who likes to work on the road, out there in the open, when you put them in an office setting, they feel confined. And vice versa, persons who are in the office and want to be on the road, they tend to get distracted easily. So one of the things that we really want to do is to ensure that persons are in fact aligned to the area that they want to be enrolled in. All right. I am seeing where we are again disabled. I wanted to just share something quickly.
All right, I will grant you privilege because another participant was sharing a short while ago.
Okay, no problem.
All right, you can go ahead now.
All right, I'm hoping that persons are seeing my presentation. All right, excellent. All right, so I just want to get quickly straight to the meat of the matter. Business Administration Level 2 certification. The target audience for that, persons with 1 or more CXC, persons who are working at the entry level office workers, persons who work in the office, clerical workers, administrative workers. As I said to you, persons who work in any administrative role, persons who work a lot around a desk, right? So you might work in an organization and you work around a desk. You have to do filing, you have to do record management, you have to set things in diary, you have to accept things from customers, stuff like that. Now the duration of this program, we actually have 3 sets of course offering at heart. And let me just see if I can explain them quickly to you. The NVQJ, National Vocational Qualification of Jamaica, or CVQ, the Caribbean Vocational Qualification. Now the NVQJ is a general qualification in a occupational skill area. So for argument's sake, business administration is the general qualification that will satisfy the needs of persons working within an office. Now, coming out of that could easily be a receptionist, could easily be an administrative officer, could easily be a clerical officer. Now, all of these are actually now job positions. These job positions, we have started to create what we call job qualification, or for short, we call them job certs. Now, these job certs are more job focused. So for argument's sake, a receptionist, we might only cover interacting with customers, dealing with communication, deliver quality customer service, etc. Right? Basic skills that are needed for the receptionist, handling telephone calls. Right? You might not get into handling meetings, dealing with meeting notes, dealing with certain financial transaction. Now you would cover those other skill areas under the general one, because the NVQJ prepares you for any of the areas under the business administration era. Right? Is that clear?
Clear.
Clear.
Okay. So some of the content that will be covered under the business administration, we will go through professionalism, all the units in relation to professionalism. We will talk about customer service. We will even touch about some information technology. And when we talk about information technology, we will show persons how to use Word and Excel and the internet, etc. to carry out research. We will deal with meeting, plan, prepare, and conducting meetings. We talk about business travel. We talk about the reminder system, because as a business administrator, you are required to use reminder systems, whether it's diary. I mean, we now have the calendar, so we do a lot of electronic diary now. So we will talk all about that. We talk about human relations. We talk a little bit about accounts, because these persons are required sometime to handle petty cash. They might be required to write a receipt, or to prepare an invoice, or to process a purchase order, etc. And we also talk about the basics of entrepreneurship. Right? So that is our business administration level 2. The business administration level 3 now, this is geared now towards, and as it's indicated here now, this is a diploma. and this is now geared towards people operating at the supervisory level, right? So persons who are operating at the supervisory level for 2 or 3 years are persons who aspire towards becoming supervisors within an office setting and have completed the business administration level 2. Now, one of the reasons why we emphasize that persons have the level 2 is because a lot of the times we have persons who have experience. They don't do the level 2, but when they get to the level 3, they struggle a little bit, because at the level 3, we do not go back over. The assumption is that you know some of the stuff that we would have already covered at the level 2 level. So when you don't do the level 2, you are at a disadvantage because the teacher or the facilitator is doing a follow-on with the assumption that you would have covered certain principles, basic principles at the level 2. And then when that is not covered now, those persons tend to struggle. So we always recommend that persons try and complete the level 2 before they move to the level 3. And likewise, level 3 before moving to level 4. Right? Some of the areas that are covered under the level 3, we go more in depth into occupational health and safety. You know, you are now able to prepare, safety plans and ensure that there is proper record keeping, and how do you handle when there are safety issues? Because at the supervisory level, persons, you now need to interact and make decisions. A lot of people misunderstand. A lot of people want to get to the supervisory level, but they don't want to be with the decision-making part of it. A big part of being a supervisor is to handle decision-making. So we talk about leadership and planning. So you're now going to need to be roster and staff, planning workflow for your staff, etc. You're gonna be interacting or dealing with customer service now at the highest level, dealing with disputes, handling customers who need disruptive customers, etc. You're gonna need to organize stuff within your office, report writing, financing. You're gonna need to ensure that your organization have proper financing in place to carry out the day-to-day operations, staffing. You might now be required to take part in interviews. Different organizations will have different policies, but we will start to expose you to a number of these. You will be required to carry out marketing. So we'll be teaching you about marketing. We'll be teaching you about not just about conducting meeting, but also for meeting presentations. So you need to prepare meeting presentations, etc. Go and represent your manager or other officers at various areas or development. Right? Now, our level 4, the business administration level 4 now, we are now targeting supervisors and middle managers, right? Persons who are now working at the supervisory or managerial level for the past 2 to 3 years, right? So it means that, so sometimes persons think that it means that because I'm with an organization for 5 years, but are you at the supervisory level for 5 years? You might have been working at that level, but you have never worked in the supervisory level, or you have only acted in a supervisory level. Now, if that is the case for you, we recommend that you do the full qualification, because you will then go through all the various areas so that you can get the development in the respective areas, right? Some of the stuff that will be covered under the level 4, gonna monitor staff performance now, policy development. So you are going to be the one who is now going to write these policy, whether it be occupational health and safety policy, customer dispute policy, dress policy, customer dispute policy, operational policies, etc. Prepare quotations and contracts. You will also talk about the mediation process. When we have disputes, how do you negotiate with external customers, or clients? How do you do the bidding process to ensure that your organization can win the bid, etc. Lead and manage people. That's a major role. How do you motivate the staff? How do you get them engaged? How do you ensure that they are operating at the optimal level? A lot of people believe that, hey, this is easy, man. And if I was there, I would do this and I would do that and all of that. But when you start to put them in the role, they start to struggle and they realize how difficult it is at that stage. When we start to ask people now to prepare and manage budgets and forecast, You know, people believe that a lot of these things are overnight. These are very difficult tasks that people at the managerial level must take on. You know, we talk about how you will do research and prepare and present information, and how do you're able to seize business opportunity for your organization. You will see collaborations that you can do, you know, and ensure that your organization is poised to capitalize on these collaborations, etc. Right? I mentioned to you now, if none of the 3 areas before you believe that you are ready for that as yet, you can start out, because there are a lot of people who are working in an administrative role. But when we look at what it is that they are really doing, they work in the records office, they work in the filing clerk, they work as what have you. I recommend that a lot of these people start out by doing our job search in record and information management. Now, what does it cover? Here are some of the things that it covers: how to handle telephone calls, how to use the business equipment, so the photocopy machine, the fax machine, the bounding machine, all of these, you know, the guillotine and so forth, developing keyboarding skills. How do you type? You know, how do you take notes, shorter notes if you are in meetings? How do you take the little notes, etc., so that you can go back and produce minutes? How do you operate a personal computer? How do you prepare minutes or documents on Word? How do you prepare spreadsheets on Excel, etc.? How do you prepare for work? You know, what is required in preparing yourself for work? How do you provide information to customers? Because sometimes customers will come in, they will have queries. They will ask for information. How do you provide this information to them? How do we locate and store files in a paper-based environment? Not all organizations are so equipped there where everything is electronic and you can just click a button and you know how to retrieve them. How do you file things? When somebody say we are filing in chronological order, you know, or date order, or we're using a number sequence, what does that mean? How do we do it? You know, how do we organize things for copying and collation of documents for meetings or presentations, etc.? How do we receive visitors? We call them visitors, but we could also use the word customers. How do we really receive customers, right? And visitors who come to our organization, to the manager or to other officers, you know, deliver quality customer service, and how we apply basic communication skills. So for persons who, if you want to get your feet wet, and also for persons, if you notice the duration for other programs were between 6 to 9 months. The duration for something like a job search here could easily be as 6 weeks, 3 to 6 weeks, depending on your level of competency, how fast the instructor is able to move based on what you already know. Right? I spoke earlier about customer service. Now, so let me talk about it. So customer service level 1, which is one of the things that we are promoting, is geared towards what we call entry-level customer-facing customers. So customers who interact a lot with customers. So persons who work in a shoe store, for argument's sake, persons are coming in, you could easily be the cashier, or you work on the floor, etc. So you're helping customers to find products and services, right? You could also work in the office, but you're more in a receptionist role. So you are the ones who will interact with the customers first before you transfer them to somewhere else. Sometimes you might work in a customer service area, so persons who have returns or stuff like that, you are the one who they might come to for it, or you might work in an information area. Right? So persons come to you for information. How do I get here? How do I get this? How do I apply for this? So you are helping the customers. So people who have direct interaction with customers, we normally recommend for them to do the customer service level 1. The duration for this program, again, is another 6 months as well. And some of the stuff that are covered, we talk about communication, you know, office administration, customer relations, you know, the whole interaction with customers, telephone operation. We talk a little bit about finance and accounting. So you know how to, you know, if you need to issue a receipt to the customer, or if the customer has returns and you need to issue a credit note, etc. We talk about sales. How do you close the sale? For example, you ring up the sale, etc. You know, how do you process refunds? Look at things like that. We also cover information technology, because that has become a big part of business operations as well. So we touch on a number of these, and I will only touch one more, which is our customer service level 3, which again is geared towards persons within the supervisory field, and some of the areas that are covered in that one. This one, however, is the duration for it is between 6 to 9 months. And we will look at how you provide service to customers with special needs. You know, how do you provide mentoring and coaching within the workplace, deliver and monitor service to customers, you know, customer service governing policies. You know, you might be asked now to create or to implement governing policies, different things. How do you implement operational plans? So your manager might have different operational plans that they're asking you now to implement. How do you go about implementing these? How do you comply with financial service legislation and industry legislations that are out there to ensure that your organization is compliant to all of the various rules and regulation, you know, and professional code of practice? So these are just some of the areas that are covered under the various qualifications. I wanted to share all of these so that you are clear about it before you make your respective decisions accordingly. Right? And
okay.
Yes, I will also be sharing, before I close, I will also be sharing in the chat a link, right, where I'm going to ask persons to just click on the link and go to the link and indicate to us which of the qualifications that I have mentioned or other qualifications that you might be interested in. The link will also ask you to indicate the time that is best for you to do training. And I want to just make it clear to persons that we have a number of persons. I'm seeing close to 70 persons online here, but I was told that there's close to 140 persons who are interested in doing the business administration course. Now, just to make it clear for everybody, we can't have all 140 persons in a classroom at the same time. And then you're going to find that some persons, based on when you have the class, it is not convenient for them. So we want to know when it is most convenient for you. Is it during the week? Can you do classes during the week? Monday to Sunday, Monday to Friday, sorry, right? Are you available in the day? Or is it in the evening that you're available? Or is it in the afternoon that you're available? So we want to know which time is best for you. If you have multiple times that you are in fact available, then you can let us know the multiple times that you are in fact available, right? So you can say to us that I am available both during the week, in the evening. So I'll tell you there are 3 time slots. So we have morning 9 to 12. We have evening or afternoon, which is between say 1 and 4 or 5 p.m. and evening, which is around about 6 to 9 p.m. Or is it that you're available more on the weekend, right? Is it Saturdays only? Is it Sundays only? Or are you available Saturday or Sunday? Let us know. Are you only available for part of Saturday or all of Saturday? Are you available for part of Sunday or all of Sunday? So whatever it is that you are available for, let us know so that we can do the scheduling and put you in the respective category so that we want to minimize the dropouts. So persons are not able to join the program because when the program was being offered was not convenient to them. So we want to give you that option for you to say to us when is it best, and then we try to see how best we can set it up for you. I hope that is clear. That is my presentation at the moment. I will now take any questions, comments, feedback, etc. at this time. I have already shared the link in the chat, so you can feel free to click on it. You can click on it when we are finished. You can ask respective questions, so you can have your questions answered, so you'll know what to do. It will also ask you to put in some of your information, contact information, etc., so that we know who to contact, etc. So please let us put in as much information as they are able to put into the spreadsheet as possible. I thank you. I'm seeing a raised hand, but Mr. Williams, I will hand over to you.
No, I just want to just make a comment quickly.
Sure.
Thank you very much. I mean that what your present. I thank you again and the entire heart for the presentations.
Yes.
And in particular, your presentation, all the presentations were very informative and, in my view, impacting and impactful. So, especially your presentation as it zooms in on what we're about in terms of the matter of the administrative assistance, and you would have given more options around, and it's a really great presentation because, as you rightfully say, a number of persons who may be borderline what they really want to do, and borderline whether it's customer service or business administration or something else. It is clear, and I think that the clarity in which you presented is impactful to all. But let me just ask the question, and I know that persons might want to hear this question or would be interested in this question. We say that we're in Portmore, but for the persons who are not in Portmore at this time, but are a part of this group and would be a part of this program, just explain how would they, or would you bring them on for the online?
All right. So the programs that I've mentioned, we are looking to offer these programs in an online modality. Now, because we are offering it in an online modality, it means that you don't have to be within Portmore to join in. However, we might require to do 1 or 2 sessions face-to-face. And let me tell you, there are programs that we have started and we have done, and it was our intention to do it straight online. You do your testing online, you do the training online, all of that. However, there were persons who were not grasping some of the concepts, and as such requested that we come in, because we are also mindful that not all persons learn best in the online modality. Now, I am not able to offer all the flexibility that we had mentioned earlier for persons doing if they are doing the program face-to-face. Because when you start to talk about face-to-face, there are multiple other factors that must be taken into consideration. A physical location, and all, and I mean spacing in that physical location because of what is happening within our island with the COVID pandemic. So we would have to, our numbers would be reduced. So we don't do more than 10 to 15 persons in a space, because very few spaces out there can accommodate larger groups than that, and everybody is able to distance themselves. If a group is too large and they spread out too far, then you start to hear persons say they are not able to see the presentation, they're not able to hear the presenter, so it poses other challenges as well. So we prefer, our preferred modality currently is in fact to do this group online. However, if we are able to offer for possibly one of the groups face-to-face, we will be willing to do that. There is also a challenge in doing the face-to-face arrangement in terms of the nightly curfew and where persons live, because sometimes persons will tell you that they work. Now, when we do evening classes are normally between, say, 6 to 9. Now, when you are finished at 9 and you need to get home, depending on how robust the transportation system is at that time, to get home before 10 o'clock, sometimes it poses a problem for persons. So you find that persons leave the class hall from 8, 7:30, based on where they are going, etc. We don't want that, because then they would have missed some key aspect of the training as well. So it's a delicate balance, and we have to try and find a way to balance it. So for the persons who are in Portmore, and we can find a location within Portmore to do it. If persons are more inclined for a face-to-face and they are out of parish, I am willing to speak with my counterparties within the respective parish to see if they are offering any similar program like what we are offering now, and then ask them if they will be willing to enroll you in that respective program.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. And just a follow-up quickly.
Sure.
I know that a section of this training is an assessment, and an assessment means that you would have to go face-to-face. Just correct me as I go along, just shed some light in the assessment.
You don't necessarily have to go face-to-face. The assessment comprises of 2 components. You are required to do a theoretical paper and you are required to do a practical paper. So when we do groups that are online, we what we'll do, especially for our level 2 programs, we will give them a 40 multiple choice paper that we will ask persons to log on. Now, we have a software that we will ask persons to download on their machine when they are doing that exam. And that, so once you go into the portal and you start the exam, it will not allow you to come out of that browser. So once you come out of the browser, it will automatically close your session. So I can be here now, and the questions are here, and I can skip to another browser and another browser to do other things. It will not allow you to do that. And once you do that, it will then indicate that it will close you out. So it will allow you to be switching browsers as such.
Okay. All right. All right. Thank you. Those are my 2 questions, and the floor.
Let me just address the practical side of it. So the practical side of it, we normally address that with like a project. So we'll ask persons to complete a project, demonstrating their skill set in the respective area, and then they will have to present the project. Then we will ask them to come online at some other point and defend their project. So you would submit your project, and then we could ask you to make a presentation of your project to a panel of persons, a panel of assessors, who will then assess your level of competency in the respective area that we are asking. For the higher level, it will not comprise of just a multiple choice. It will comprise of short answer questions, case study, and essay questions, but it can still be facilitated online. And we do offer for some persons the opportunity to come in and do it face-to-face, because sometimes persons indicate they have bandwidth challenges, etc. Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. At this time, we're just going to open for open questions. Yes. A show of hands. Please just use this feature, the show of hands feature, and then the moderator, Miss Harriet, will take it from there in terms of lead with who answer questions first. She will call the names out. So go ahead from now.
All right. Thank you so much. Go ahead, Miss Tupper.
Hi, good evening, everyone. All right, so my question is in regards to the qualifications. Do you accept the US equivalent of CXC and CAPE? And the US equivalent is SAT and ACTs.
I know in the past what we had done is we asked persons who have the US qualification from other territories to just do our diagnostic test. And once they pass the diagnostic test, then we give them entry into the respective program that they want to get into. Because sometimes we are not able to validate the US qualification, and in order to get it done, it comes at a cost, and sometimes the students are not willing to pay the cost to get it validated. So we said the easiest way to get around it is just do the diagnostic test. The diagnostic test is just a basic math and English comprehension test, and it is written at the grade 9 level. So most persons who would have completed high school would be able to easily pass the diagnostic test. The diagnostic test is really just to ensure that persons are able to read and compute things at a particular level, because we don't want to give you a case like we're doing something, or we're giving the notes, and then you're not able to read and comprehend what the notes is saying, etc. So if it is that we need to do remedial training with you to bring you up to a certain reading level or a certain computing level, then we'd prefer to do that first before we have you do the qualification. I'll just give you another example. There are a lot of companies out there, and they have cashiers, and they have persons working in customer service areas, etc. And you might wonder, why is it that they have such a high turnover? And they have a high turnover because a lot of people are not able to compute at a certain level. So every evening they are short or they're over. So what it means is that they would have probably give back the customer too much money, or they have taken too less money from the customer. So they're making errors with change, etc. Right? And when it costs the company, most companies, once it's costing them too often, then they'll tend to let go the person. So we prefer that persons are operating at a particular level, and if they are not, we try to bring them up to a certain level, and then we give them, because once you have our qualification, what our qualification says is that you should be able to operate at this level. I hope that answers your question.
It does. Thank you so much. However, I am rather disappointed that the US qualifications are being questioned in regards to it having a lesser level than the Jamaican education, because that
it's not.
goes
My
without.
apologies. It's not being questioned if it have a lesser level. Unfortunately, we have, and I mean, I can speak factually from it. Persons have presented qualifications before, and then upon checking, we discover that these qualifications are not authentic. And as such, it's very unfortunate that the good sometimes has to suffer for the bad. But, and I mean, and it's the same thing, like even when persons leave here with our certificates and go to Canada write back to us. And that's the reason why we now have something on our website where they can go in and put in the certification number to get it validated, to know that yes, the certificate is in fact an authentic certificate. Now, the only way we can validate the US qualifications is we write to the respective bodies overseas, and they charge to do the validation of it. And when we say to the students, you will need to pay for this, and different institutions charge different amounts, they are not willing to pay for it. So we say, as a means to still facilitate them, we say just do our diagnostic test, and we'll just move on from there.
All right, thank you so much.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Go ahead, Anderson.
Oh, good night.
Good night.
Yes, sir. I would have sat here and I've listened to your presentation very cleanly. Now, I heard you mention something about persons can do 2 courses at once. That could maybe be the level 3 and then the level 4. It was the level 2 and the level 3. You hear me, sir?
Yes. Yes, when you're finished.
If you have the experience. All right, then if you have the experience in the field. All right. So in terms of qualifications, presently, sir, I have 8 CXC subjects, including maths and English. I have a diploma in telecommunications. I would have went to the University of the Commonwealth Caribbean. I would have done a course in supervisor management, and I would have done 2 hard courses in preventative motor vehicle maintenance and also security operations. Now, as it relates to the work experience.
What levels did you do those programs?
The security operation was level 2, and the preventative maintenance, it doesn't have a level, so it was a certificate course.
Okay.
So as it relates now to the supervisor experience, I was a former member of the JDEF, so I used to manage a store there. I used to manage a group of civilian staff, but now I branched off and I'm now a warehouse supervisor. Now, as it relates, what I'm here thinking, because oftentimes I'm so tasked to evaluate persons coming into the institution.
Yes.
So today now, I was in dialogue with my manager. So my manager was telling me that Anderson, if you could at least enroll in a degree program, there's a vacancy available for you. And what I was thinking about, if I could at least enroll in this degree program, I could work alongside with the Heart NSTA. So whenever persons are there and they would like to get a work, in the meantime, I could also be one of the key persons there based on my recommendation. But in order to get a seat at that table, right now, I would at least need to enroll in a degree program. So by doing this, I strongly believe that we can also alleviate unemployment and also reduce the possibilities of juvenile delinquency. So that was really my point, sir, because I believe that I'm capable of, but in order to get this position, so I could work alongside with the Heart in terms of helping persons get employed who are not maybe at the CXC level, I don't have any qualification at all. I would at least need to enroll in a degree program. So I was just putting that out there, sir, to see if there's any possibilities of that happening.
So let me clear up a few things. No, I'm not saying that you will be enrolled in 2 programs one time. We don't recommend persons to be enrolled in 2 programs one time. Take away from your attention, and sometimes it's very difficult to manage. You could be enrolled in a level 3 program, but you did not complete the level 2. Now, so what the organizations will do is that they will know that the persons they are currently enrolling did not cover the level 2. So they will ensure that they cover the level 2 first, and then they will transition automatically into the level 3. So what they will do is that they will cover the level 2 units and then move into the level 3 units. So you don't, so sometimes they don't cover all the level 2 units. So it is what we call an accelerated program, where what they will do is cover the prerequisite units that we know you must need to cover before you move to the level 3. So they cover those units, and then once you have finished covering those units, then they cover all the level 3 units, and you get your level 3 qualification at the end of it. There are 2 modalities. So you could have joined a level 3 program, and they would only look at the level 3 qualification, the units. They would not have covered the level 2 units, because the assumption is that you would have covered the level 2 units, if you understand me.
Okay.
So different institutions, based on the cohort or the body of persons who have applied, they can then say, okay, and let me give you an example. This is why you will hear that one institution is offering the level 3 program for 6 months, and another institution is offering the level 3 program for 9 months or even a year, because they are looking to cover the level 2 units as well as the level 3 units.
Okay.
You only do that when the majority of the persons who have shown interest don't have the required prerequisite. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. But sir, I just saw an avenue where I could help persons, and I'm willing to do what is necessary. So all of it means that I could start off at the level 3 and do the accelerated program.
Right.
That would be highly appreciated, because I know that I could reach out to more youths, because so far I've got 2 persons on board, and only if I could at least have the degree program pending on file, I could help more.
Well, I believe that you can have that degree program pending on file within a year, because I believe that you can easily enroll in our level 3 program currently, and within, a couple of months, complete the level 4, and you're easily enrolling, because our degree program is really the level 5. Now, you definitely cannot be enrolled in the level 5 without a level 3 or a level 4. That much I can tell you. So while sometimes we'll make an exception at certain levels, the level 5, we don't enroll persons unless they have the prerequisite levels. So we could easily enroll you now in the level 3, and within just a couple of months you can be certified in level 3, because we can probably put you because based on what you have indicated, and I want to ask, I didn't want to mention this, because when I do, a lot of people tend to go for this avenue, and then we have a high failure rate. We also offer what is known as prior learning assessment, meaning we just give you the assessment now for the entire qualification, right? So persons will say, yes, I have the experience, yes, I can do it. There's no training that is involved in that modality, right? And then what we do now, so you just come, we just set the exam, and you come on a specific day and you do the exam. If you are successful, you are successful, and if you are not, then you fail. Now, a lot of people go for that route, and then they fail. And then they say, boy, I never know the exam would have covered this, and it would have covered that area. That's why I would say to persons that if you don't, it's not like we hide it, we will tell you all the areas that are covered there. We have no problem in sharing all the areas, right? Ensure that you know all those areas inside out. And if you don't know those areas inside out, enroll yourself into training and assessment, and not assessment only.
Okay, sir. But sir, most definitely, if I could get that level 4 on board or whatever that would be, I could do so much.
Okay. Well, go ahead and complete the link and put
I completed the form already, sir. I completed it already.
Because I will also indicate to you all that everybody who apply and go through, we have an interview process that persons must complete in order to be enrolled in the respective program. So you will get a call from us, and we have some of your information already, and we will cross-reference it with those who, because what we don't have from a lot of people is when would be most appropriate for them to do the training. That information is what we really wanted to capture, right? So you're going to be sharing that information with us now via the link. So we will know to ourselves based on always, okay, the majority of persons are indicating in the evenings. So it looks like we can have an evening cohort. Some persons have indicated on a Saturday. So it looks like we can have a Saturday cohort. Some persons have indicated Sunday, we can have a Sunday cohort. So once I get the information now, I can say, all right, we're going to have 2 cohorts in the evening, one on a Saturday, one on a Sunday, etc. And then we seek to fit everybody into one of the respective modality. Oh, and there is a group of persons who are not working currently, so they can come in the day and complete their training in the day, etc. So, all right, let us find a location and let us facilitate them at that location, etc. So what we really want to find out right now is when you're available, so we know when to schedule the respective classes. And so we want to start classes within the next 2 weeks. So everything that I'm talking to you about will be done within the next 2 weeks. So we're going to do the interview. We're going to schedule. We're going to tell you that these are the respective classes. We're going to tell you the respective modalities. I mean, if I can start class as early as the 7th of February, depending on how fast you complete and how thoroughly you're giving information, we will work towards that. If not, we will, well, I mean, the target date is really the 14th of February, but if depending on what information I get and the availability of persons, I will look to start as early as the 7th of February. So between the 7th and the 14th, we will get the ball rolling.
All right, thank you so much for that information. Oderick, go ahead. I think that's you, Taylor. Go ahead. Janice Taylor, go ahead. Going once, going twice. All right, Yannick Darson.
Yes, good night. I just want to find out when to do the, like, if I'm going to do the exam, it's Portmore, right?
Okay, yes. Okay, so we have exams scheduled for every Friday, right? However, you need to pre-register. So you need to just link with us, call us, and tell us. I mean, I can share the number within the chat that persons can actually reach us, and you can call, and we will schedule you, put you on the list, because of COVID. In the past, we would have accommodated walk-in persons. We are trying our best not to accommodate the walk-in so much. I mean, if you come and we have the space, sure, but we like to have it organized because we don't want too many persons to be at the physical location at any one time. And remember that the government also has indicated a restriction, the amount of persons who should be in any one space. So I'm asking that persons just call this number that I'm putting in the chat, and then you can, Monday to Friday between 8:30 and 4:30, you can call that number, the Portmore Parish Office. I'm typing it as we speak, Portmore Parish Office. And for those who are not aware, we are located on the same compound as Hart College of Construction. Most of you might know it as Portmore Hart or Hart Academy, or if you know PCC, Portmore Community College, they are located at the back of our premises. We're right there at Portsmouth. So some of you might be familiar with it. For those who are not familiar with it, if you are coming from over the bridge, when you come over and you pass the mall, I mean, it's really a one-way. When you reach your Petcom, you'll make a right turn and you come straight down on the first major intersection. We are to the right, and you'll see a sign. We have a sign there. It's 8 o'clock. If you take the bus, you can just ask anybody, any bus that is going to the right. I mean, basically any bus that's going to Portmore, you can just tell them you want to go to, Portmore Hart. Depending on where the bus is going, it might leave you at the mall and you'd have to just walk across. If it is going Gregory Park, Waterford, Christian Penn, Independence City, any of that, it will drop you right at our gate. So any bus that is going to the right, it will drop you at our gate. If the bus is going to the left, you'd have to come off at the mall or at the Petcom and then walk them down to our location. And I'm sure iSeed can give you more direction and guidance as to how to reach us there. Or if you call our number, we will be more than happy to give you the direction as well.
All right, thank you, sir Wishart. We have quite a number of questions on the YouTube platform, and I'll be asking you those, so you can go ahead and answer. All right.
Before you go there, I see somebody indicate will an acceptance letter be given. We give them upon request. So it's not normally, we don't normally just write them saying persons needed. Sometimes persons needed for different reasons. We give those letters upon request. All right.
Yes, sir.
Excuse me, please. Sir Wishart?
Yes, Mr. Wade.
I believe in the office now.
Yeah, man, no problem.
All right, thank you.
So I'll try my best and see how best I can answer the questions.
Okay, sir.
Sir Richards.
Yes.
All right, so the acceptance letter would have be of utmost importance. Reason being is that at least it
you don't have to explain, man. I understand all of that.
Files, at least.
Come on, you don't have to explain, man. I understand. And we do
all
issue
right,
it.
Sir. And the next,
no explanation needed, man. We're good, man. We do issue it. So don't worry about it. Once you're accepted in our program, we do issue the letter. Sometimes persons are going to the embassy, they need it for work, they need it for releases. We do understand the various reasons and we do issue it. So that's not a problem. I can guarantee you that much. All right, so you can let me have the other questions.
All right. All right, so this one is, what if someone already is on their way to completing their associate degree in business administration? Which level would I begin?
I mean, if you are doing an associate degree, that's actually a level 4. So I mean, upon completion, because the challenge with it is that until you have completed your associate degree, we can't accept it. So upon completion of your associate degree, if you wanted to do the level 5, then we will enroll you into the level 5. As long as you have so you need to have one level below what it is that you want to get. So a level 3 is a diploma, level 4 is an associate, level 5 is the degree.
All right. Another question is, someone was asking if the information that you presented earlier, if they can get a soft copy of it.
I can make that available through your office. I'll send you something that you can share with them. I don't have a problem with that.
All right, thank you. So there's a lot of comments here. Wow, these are awesome opportunities available that needs more advertisement and promotion. So you have a lot of persons giving you kudos here over on the YouTube platform.
Thank you.
You have, some of these questions have already been answered, so I'm just scrolling down.
Yeah, man, no problem.
All right, if I do the level 2 in business administration, can I move on to level 3, then level 4? I would have, all right, so you would have answered that one as well. The answer is yes.
Yes. And let me just add, let me add,
Go ahead.
colleagues, if you don't have experience, if you're not working in the field and things, we normally recommend that if you complete the business level 2, get some experience so you can put some of what you have learned in action. And then sometime maybe even at least even 6 months to a year, then you come back. So after you have, you go back now with the new knowledge that you have now and you understand this now and you put it into use, you come back now and do the next level. Because sometimes when you just keep moving from 2 to 3 to 4, you don't get to put it in practice, you lose it. Yeah. So when you're ready to go there now to do it, you're just in there at a theoretical point of view, and you don't have any practical experience. So when some things lick you, people say, boy, then how you are supervising, you don't know how to deal with this situation. Because I can tell you this, colleagues, having taught on all of these programs myself.
Hello.
Yeah, Markland.
Go ahead, Sir Wishart. Wrong one. Try again.
All right. Yes. You are now here, able to hear me?
Yes.
All right. So what I was saying, colleagues, when you do one level, take a little break. Or, I mean, some of you might be working for years and you have really gained a lot of experience over the years. That's fine. But for those persons who have not gained the experience at all the levels, so you might, I mean, it's very easy to work at the clerical level, the non-managerial level. I mean, some of you might work at the supervisor level a little bit. But when you're moving now into level 4 and 5, which is at the managerial level, and you don't have any managerial experience, it becomes tricky because you qualify yourself there. And then when you're placed in the position, because you have limited experience, when certain things are thrown at you, you're not able to deal with it, because we only teach you the principles, how to handle difficult situation, but you have to craft your own way now, how to deal with them, right? Because we cannot tell you all the various ways in which things are going to happen. And look at COVID. Persons who would have completed their studies 2-3 years ago, they would not know how to deal with somebody now who get up and say, boy, I went to an establishment yesterday and they said, it's 2-person turn up because the rest of persons have COVID. Now, how do you manage that? That is managing staff, and people will say, but you're the manager, you have to figure out how to manage that. How do you manage that? We never taught you about that in school. So we will only teach you about principles and how you would have to pivot and stuff like that. But as you get more experience, you will learn how to deal with these things. And that's why we do encourage persons to take a break and apply the knowledge first before moving to the next level. Yes. You can go ahead with that.
Thank you so much for that answer, because that would have answered the follow-up question to that. The other question is, if I have a first degree in entertainment management, which level would I start in the business administration?
So the fact that you have your degrees in entertainment management, it doesn't mean that you know the areas of business administration. Now, I would recommend that you can start anywhere between level 2 and level 3, right? Our level 2 program is an excellent program for persons moving into that office. I mean, in fact, you find a lot of companies call us in to treat with their office staff, people who are coming out of universities and are placed now into the workplace, because there are so many areas that them don't know anything about. I mean, when I did my degree, they didn't teach me anything about filing and certain protocols and the dress code and, professionalism and some of the soft skills that are needed. So they had to call us in now to come in and do them as seminars, right? And we're seeing more and more of those. So I would recommend that the person start somewhere around about the level 2 to level 3. The fact that you have completed a degree, it means that you can be one of the accelerated persons, right? So you can move through the qualification quickly and get a certification within a short period of time. And we want to group persons like that, So the persons who have the experience, the persons who have been working now for a number of years and have a number of experience, we want to group those persons together, because those groups will move faster than the groups that don't have limited experience in the area. Because we have to move a little slower with those and ensure that we teach those persons the skill area, the competencies. Yes.
All right, thank you. Final question on this platform before I move over to the chat on Zoom. Does these courses give interactive and practical training and not just visual or audio experience?
All right. So that is the challenge that we are facing. I mean, in another forum, I would have said to you, yes, because we would have done that now in the face-to-face environment. Because we are forced now to do a lot of things now in the online modality, we don't get to do as much interaction as we want to. For the persons who are not working and we are doing face-to-face with them, I'll tell you that one of the things that I'm working on now is for them. I've had discussion with a number of firms, is for firms to put them now in furlough or to take them on for between 3 to 6 weeks. I mean, and even those who can accommodate even up to 2 months or 3 months, I'm asking them to accommodate them on the job, real life experience, anything while they're actually doing their program. I will also tell you that one of the things that we are looking to move towards, and I mean, had it not been for COVID, we would have piloted this where one of the things that we really want to do is where 80% of our program is actually taught on the job and only 20% of it is being taught in the classroom. So when somebody said that they have enrolled in Garmex, they have enrolled in Boys Town, Hard College of Construction, you name the various institutions that we have. What is going to happen is that through a partnership with the private sector organization, we're going to be placing them at different organizations and they will learn on the job and they will only come to us like 1 day per week or something like that for 20% of their contact hours, and 80% of it will be on the job, learning it in a practical modality while we take care of the theoretical side in a classroom. I hope that that answers that person's question adequately for them, or they understand where we're going. But this one, now, because it is going to be online, you might not get as much practical. And that's why I said to you earlier that we might have to even call you in. So if we're delivering some of the areas and realize that you're not grasping how we are saying to get it done online, we probably will just call in what we consider them to be workshops. So we call you in for workshops, and we normally do it in collaboration with the class. So we say to the class and we come to an agreement which day is better for you, you know, Saturday, Sunday, or sometime if there's a holiday that is coming up, we say, hey, are you willing to come on this day, etc. So we want persons to understand that we want to really try and satisfy their needs as best as possible.
All right, I'm going to break from the chat a minute.
Sure.
There are 2 persons who I think they have questions. Desmond Croker, go ahead.
Yeah. No.
Croker, you have a question?
No.
All right, I'm not hearing.
That was answered already.
Person.
Your hand.
All right, Arville Campbell, go ahead.
Good night. Are you hearing me?
Yes, good evening.
All right, so I'm saying that I am a level 3 person at the moment. I do rap. I'm a rap program. I'm in the rap program. How would that go for me? I mean that I'm on the program. So I am a level 3. Yes, I'm the business level 3 already.
What are you doing on the level 3?
Business management level 3. I did business. I did basically admin.
So upon completion of the level 3, then you can easily do the level 4.
And I have one thing I asked you, because I have done social media management. I have an exam, I think, in February. I didn't want them to clash. For business level 3, we have exam June, they says.
Yeah, man. Okay. So, I mean, there would be no clashing. I can tell you that much. I mean, we normally work out our stuff. And that's the reason why we don't like when persons are enrolled in 2 programs one time. And let me tell you the reasons for that. Because we have what is called an exam week. So all the exams are scheduled in the second week of the respective month when we tell us. So that's why I call you mentioned now that you're doing the exam in June. I can tell you that the exam is going to be in the second week of June. No, you can have an exam.
Why the problem was because I'm an intern and I did level 2, they moved me to level 3 as well.
Yeah, man, I understand that. Yeah, man, I understand that. I understand that process very well. But you could have an exam that is in the morning, that is a face-to-face exam. And then you could also have an exam in the evening that is online, or vice versa. And then because you're enrolled in 2 programs, it becomes very difficult for you to be at the 2 places one time.
The thing about it, my workplace, and they had agreement for level 3. They know about this as well. They wanted to know if I'm going to be signed for level 4 as well. So they can actually give me a schedule.
You cannot be signed for the level 4 before you complete the level 3. So that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah, man. We don't enroll person because you have to complete the level 3 first before we enroll you into the level 4.
So what level would I be at now, knowing that I had already the exams?
But you tell me that you're scheduled to do the exam, so you're not yet at the level 3 level. You're enrolled in a level 3 program, but until you have done the exam and you receive your results and show that you're competent at level 3, then we don't consider you at the level 3 until you have passed the exam. So once you get the result and you pass the exam, there are a lot of persons that we have who who do the exam, they're not successful, and as such, you have to schedule a resit for them. I doubt that you will be one of them. The fact that you are telling me how you have moved from the level 2 to the level 3, but we have to work with the reality that sometimes, I mean, so
And I recently got my customer service.
you will realize now that you're moving in a level 4 and you have not yet completed the level 3.
But I'm saying I recently got my certificate in customer care as well.
All right, Mr. Wishart. Mr. Wishart?
Yes.
Just a second, please. Orville Campbell, can you allow him to answer the questions? Because each time he's answering, you keep disrupting him with another question. So just allow him to answer the question and then you ask another one. Also, bear in mind that there are a lot of other persons over on the platform. So keep it to a minimum of about 2 or 3 questions maximum, please.
Okay.
I will say this generally again, colleagues, we do not want to register persons for a higher level until they can prove to us that they have successfully completed the level below. Right? Other officers might do it, but that's not the preferred practice for the trust. So I can only tell you what is the acceptable method currently. So once you have completed a respective level, then we'll enroll you for the higher level thereafter. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
All right. Mr. Williams, go ahead. We have a couple more questions in the chat. And also take into consideration that...
All I want to say at this time is that we have exhausted a lot of time. And I know it is informative. You know, we're excited. I mean, the sessions are so empowering to us. And, you know, it is really an excited time. But we have to manage time. We started at 6. We are now heading to about 8, closer to 8:30 now. We have 17 minutes after. So could we wrap up within the half an hour? Just asking.
Mr. Wishart, could you guide us as it relates to that, please?
I am willing to give you until 8:30. I had another session that has actually started, so I'll try and give you until 8:30, and then I'll see if I can jump on to that. I don't normally like to cut things short, but since none of my other colleagues are here to carry on and Mrs. Palmer is not able to unmute, I will try to see if I can answer questions up to 8:30.
Okay.
My apologies for that. Yeah, we were trying to really complete by 7:30, but I do understand, and I want to see if I can answer as many questions as possible.
All right, thank you. So I think you would have answered this, but let me ask just in case. Can I do both City and Guilds and Office Administration level 2 this year?
I'm going to tell you no. You can do it, meaning you can be enrolled in City and Guilds under skill era. However, the deadline to be enrolled in City and Guilds has passed. So we put all the persons who are now taking in City and Guilds, they will not do the exam this year, they'll actually do the exam next year. So you can be enrolled and start to go classes from now, but your exam is gonna be next year for the City and Guilds. But you can complete your skills-based training this year. So you can be enrolled in both.
All right, thank you. If I have a college certificate in business administration, can I do level 3?
Sure.
All right, thank you.
If once the college certificate is an accredited certificate, sure. Yeah. So you'd have to carry it to us, and we can validate it. And I'm assuming that's a Jamaican college where UCJ would be the one who is doing the validation.
All right, another one, I think you would have addressed this a number of times as well. Will the classes be online?
Yeah, that's what we're proposing, for the classes to be online. However, if there are a group of persons who, because of connectivity issues or whatever it is, that cannot become online, if we have enough to do a cohort face-to-face, and we can work out the location, and we have a facilitator who is available, I am willing to do one, right? Or 2, depending on the demand that is there. But there are other logistics that need to be worked out for the face-to-face versus the online modality. It's way easier to facilitate online. Somebody can be anywhere. I can get an instructor from Montego Bay to facilitate it online. The person can be overseas to facilitate it online, etc. face-to-face. I have to have somebody who can get to that location. And you have to bear in mind, if I have somebody who lives in Old Harbor, they might not be willing to be at Portmore after 9 to fight the traffic to get to Old Harbor or Maypen or somewhere else, etc. So we have a number of logistics issues that we'll have to work out face-to-face, but I'm willing to look at it. Definitely willing to look at it.
All right, this question. So I have my CXCs and currently I'm in the process of getting my associate degree. Can I do the level 3 in business management? And somebody was asking about the clarification between business management and business administration. And I think you would have addressed that earlier.
Okay, administration is in terms of clerical work, while management is in terms of managing processes and people. So when you see they talk about business management, they're more talking about people who are operating a business. They are managing the business for themselves. So we're more talking about entrepreneurs or to understand it from that more entrepreneurial side of it, while the administration is more from an office management. So you're managing the office and you're not necessarily the entrepreneur per se. So one will just take a more entrepreneurial view, while the other will take more of a managerial view. So you're not the owner of the business or part of the ownership of the business.
All right. Somebody's asking when do classes start? You would have addressed that earlier as well.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you that we're working towards February 14. So the quicker you get your information into us and we can work out the logistics, is the quicker we are able to start the class.
All right, somebody's here asking about textbooks. What about textbooks?
We would normally, I can tell you, we don't normally require you to buy a textbook. We normally provide most of the material, the reading, etc. What you'll find is that with the advent of the internet, a lot of the information you can go out there and research for yourself. All of our institutions, we have a library attached to it. So in the event that you needed to come in as a student, once you're enrolled as a student, you will be able to go and register for the library and you can borrow books at the library, etc. But most of the material that you'll need, we will make it available to you, right? Or we'll share it, or we'll give you a link, or we'll give you things to go and research it for you to get the information.
All right, so we have 2 final hands, no more questions in the chat.
Sure.
So we're going to go with Nicola Goodlit first.
Hi, good night, everyone.
Good night.
I'm happy that you mentioned that you don't like persons doing 2 courses, but I'm enrolled to do like commis chef, which I have an orientation next week. It starts in February. So would you recommend me doing this course, business management level 2?
What is really your objective? I mean, it really comes down to, let me tell you, sometimes we enroll people into these programs and then they start to complain. Boy, the teacher don't realize that I have other programs doing. No, we don't set up the programs for you to have other programs doing. So, and a lot of it, the information is retained better when you go there and you research it. When you go there and you do a lot of the research for yourself and you come back and you present it, etc. So you start to have the complaint now and you start to have these clashes, right? Where people say they're a commis chef, teacher give them this big project to do, and then the business administration teacher give me this big project to do, and I can't manage it, two of them come to work, and we have children, and we have all of these things. So in order to avoid a lot of these other complications, we always say to persons, just focus on one program at a time. There are some persons who are able to do it and do it successfully. I mean, power to them. I mean, you must know your own ability, but then don't enroll yourself into 2 programs, because what a lot of people do sometimes is that they even lie. So even our system, we have now put on our system that people cannot be on the system more than 2 times. So if somebody is already on the system enrolling one, and I try to enroll them, it's going to show me, it's going to tell me that they're enrolled, and it's going to say to me, in order for me to enroll you, I need to cancel or terminate you from the other program that you're in. And then you hear the person say, no, they don't want to be terminated from that program because they are in this program, and it creates a problem. but our system will not allow you to be, in fact, it will not allow you to be enrolled in 2 full-time programs. It won't allow you to be enrolled in 2 full-time programs. It will allow you to be enrolled in a full-time and a part-time program, or 2 part-time programs, but it won't allow you to be enrolled in more than 2 programs, and it would have to be 2 part-time programs or 1 full-time and a part-time.
So full-time is what's a time span? What you call full-time, like a year? Because most of them are 6 months.
No, you'd have to go back to your institution and they will tell you whether or not that program it's considered to be a full-time program. It comes down to the number of hours that they will be administering the program for, how they set it up. So once they set it up, so because I can set up a program as a full-time program and you do it only in the afternoons, because we're going to go through all the elements. So when I do it as a part-time program, we're not going to go through all the elements, because the assumption is that this group is coming with what we call prior knowledge, right? They have some amount of experience. So I don't need to go through all of the areas because they have some of the experience in some of the areas. So we are just going to be touching on just the main areas or the key areas for them, we're preparing them for exam. But once the cohort that they believe they have don't have any experience, they are going to register them as a full-time program.
Okay, but so you recommend if the person can do it, they can go ahead, because I scheduled that one I know I will be doing that course in the morning, so I will have all the afternoon for this course.
You're not working currently?
No, not at the moment.
Okay, so if you're not working, then there's a possibility that you can take it on, but you have to bear in mind that it can be very burdensome on you. But if you think you can manage it, then I'm forward to you. I mean, we'll encourage you as best as possible. Yeah. Yes, I'll encourage you as best as possible.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, final question. Arville Campbell, go ahead. I
think we hand over to Arville already, and some strange reason we're not hearing him.
All right, so with that, we're going to hand over to Mr. Williams to do our vote of thanks.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Harridge. Now, ladies and gentlemen,
sorry,
if you're
Mr. Williams, I don't mean to cut you. Sorry, I just saw this question in the chat. How can we prove our qualification or experience? I mean, you prove the qualification by having your hard certificate and you carry that to the office. And I mean, we have a process that we'll go through to validate the stuff. So you carry that to us. The experience, we normally ask for you to get a testimonial. So we have what is known as testimonial forms. So your organization, your firm, your supervisor, somebody who can testify to the fact that, yes, you have been working. I mean, like for me, I've been a manager at the trust for the last X amount of years. So my supervisor or even my HR department would be willing to say, yes, Rowan has been working in the capacity of XYZ for an amount of years, and somebody will sign and they have the company stamp and we get that and we'll use that, etc. So I hope that answers that last question. But you must prove your qualifications to us. So we're not gonna just tell us that they have 860 and we just accept that they have 860 and move on. Because a lot of times when we ask, people are unable to prove it, and we say if you can't prove it, then we can't use it. It's as simple as that.
Right, and I'm happy that you cleared that up, because we have asked everyone to provide their proof of qualification. Some persons would have asked us why it is that we want the proof of qualification. So I'm happy that you addressed that one.
Come on. If we don't have the proof of qualification, then we can't move it to the respective level. We have to just assume then you don't have it. If you can't prove it, let me give you another typical example. And I mean, somebody even mentioned it earlier. So somebody said that they are enrolled in an associate program. So as far as they are concerned, they're at that level, they're at the level 4, but not until you complete the course and you are certified and you get the thing. You're not at that level 4, right? So it is the last qualification that you are able to obtain. If the last qualification, although you're enrolled in a level 4 or an associate degree, if the last qualification that you have is 6E, then it's only the 6Es that we can use. So it's only what you're able to prove, then we can use to enroll you. And that's the same thing with other institutions. They use your qualification to enroll in the level 4, and then upon your completion, we can use your level 4 to enroll you in a level 5. And that's standard practice across the industry.
All right, thank you so much for that clarification. Sir Williams, go ahead.
All right, thank you again. Thank you again, Mr.
My
Uchard,
apologies, Mr. Williams.
for all of that. And now, ladies and gentlemen, if you were not aware of the offerings from at Heart NSTA, now you know. It is wide, it is comprehensive, and it is available, and most time it is for free. So you can tap in. If you also wasn't aware of the professionals at Heart, now you know that Heart has real professional people, Mr. Wichart and his team. Thank you very much on behalf of ICEED for coming here this afternoon, and we're here tonight now, to display and to really give us a taste of Heart at its best. And we appreciate, and we know that we're so empowered by your presentation, the various presentations, and we look forward in carrying on this partnership a long way for many years to come. Thank you again, ICEED, for all that we have done, putting out the offerings to the public, and the public, we thank you again for subscribing and for joining the platform and asking the questions and all that you have done over the period of time. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and I hand over back to Ms. Harris, who will sign off on this.
All right, thank you so much again, Sir Wishart and team. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Without you, this program wouldn't or couldn't have been possible. We really appreciate you. So continue being safe, take care of your beautiful and handsome selves, and as always, love and blessings from me to you. All right, bye-bye.
Thanks.
Well, I'm seeing where 41 persons have completed the survey so far. So I will share. You can. I don't know if you had. Did you capture the link?
Yes, I copied it. So I sent it in the chat, in the WhatsApp group that we have.
All right, excellent. So we can give them maybe between 24 hours to 48 hours to complete it, or Thursday, Friday, and then I can probably try and collect the information over the weekend.
Right.
And by Monday, Tuesday, we can look and see what we have, and then we can see what it is looking like.
Sure, not a problem. Not a problem. Thank you.
All right. I noticed, I don't know if Orlando has left. I noticed he indicated that there were some forms that were not accurate. I'm not sure what he was talking about.
I'm not sure either.
Somebody was asking for a number, the number that I had posted earlier. They can always call that number for any form of any additional clarification, etc. And speak to an officer. I'll post it in there. That is our general. So we have a number, we have a cell phone that we share. We realize that a lot of people, it's easier to call a cell phone than it is sometimes to call a landline. So we tend to, create that. We're also trying to get, I believe it is now on WhatsApp, or we were trying to get it on WhatsApp. I believe that it is now on WhatsApp, but so persons can probably WhatsApp their questions or so to the number. If it is not, I know that the system was actually doing some update that was preventing it, but hopefully we'll have that sorted out sometime soon. But 960-1906 is the number that they can call.
Sure, and again, if they have any questions, they can feel free to provide that information, and I can always send an email to you and you'll clarify that as well.
Definitely. Right. And then we can talk about the other groups and what their other interests might be next week also. Right. Yeah, man. All right.
All right. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of evening.
You too. Take care.
Right, thanks. You too. All right, team, take care now.